Hey, I'm Ginger Jesus and I like to do stuff. Welcome to part 4. It's the final part for refurbishing a original Xbox 1.6 for my friend M.E.H. By the time you see this, he's already got it. We've already been playing it. Hope you enjoy it, because I know he's going to watch this. In this video, I'm going to take the board I refurbished. We're going to take the power supply refurbished. I've got to get this put together for him. Taking everything, reassembling it, doing a quick little test. I'm going to do a short little walkthrough on how the soft mod works, what it looks like. That's enough procrastinating, so let's get to it.
All right, so in a matter of a few hours, over the course of not even 2 days, I've got to take all of this, smash it all together, and somehow turn it into one of those that works. So there's the refurbished motherboard, there's the refurbished power supply, soft mod's already set up on the hard drive, and I've got a caddy for it. I've already cleaned the USB ports, the case has been cleaned. I might swap the case with the one he has, since this is in pretty good shape. We'll figure that out when we get there. It's fine. Gotta take the shields, I've got to wipe them down with alcohol, wipe any dust and fingerprints off of it, and put some rust protectant on them so it's in the metal, so they'll stay nice and pristine for a long time. Got the holders cleaned up. There's a refurbished Phillips drive that I did. Got a new StarTech adapter for the hard drive. Got a Nexus fan, has a fan upgrade with the 3D printed adapter. Has a lot of airflow, but it's also very quiet, and I really like it. Especially with the soft mod, you can max the RPM out on it, and it is still quieter than like third or quarter speed of the original. So it's really nice. So I gotta take all of this and shove it together.
Hey, it's a little bit different view over there, but I want you to see me put it all together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start working through it. I'm gonna use some fresh alcohol to wipe down the shield, get all the fingerprints and stuff off of it so that the oils on the skin don't cause it to rust. And I'm gonna use some of this. Used it before on some bare metal stuff. Seems to work pretty good. I'm not gonna put it on real thick. I'm gonna actually put it on either a rag or something. I'll find something. I think I got a rag around here somewhere. Just wipe the whole thing down and just kind of get a nice little, just a very thin little coating on it, and kind of wipe up the excess. It's just enough to protect the metal a little bit. It'll just keep it looking good for a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and get that, and we'll go ahead and do the top first, because the bottom I gotta clean off that soot. Try not to shine you. It's shining me in the face with not y'all. So you can see the shield here. It's in really good shape. It's a couple of fingerprints on it, but I want to try to wipe it down as best I can. This is one of my better ones. There's a couple spots along the very edges here. Oh, what am I doing without my gloves? Just along the very edge where this rests up against the plastic, and just the metal and the plastic itself will change temperature differently, and it can sometimes cause it to get a little moisture build up right there. And it seems to only be on this one side in particular, which is the power supply side, so that's where most of the heat is, which makes sense. But we'll go ahead and wipe this down and keep this thing looking good for a long time. You know, nobody sees it in the black console, but I know it's there, so I want to make sure I put a nice one in there for him. So we'll go ahead and take this, and I'll use this rag. Crack. Set this over that. Crack. Set this over here on this. Get my chair out of my way. Throw some alcohol on it, and then wipe it down with the rag. Get all that oil and stuff off. I'm gonna change rags. That one's not a good rag. Now I am going to take this, and I'm going to toss it in the toaster oven for a second, just to evaporate the alcohol out, and so it doesn't try to absorb any moisture before I put on the protectant spray. Because the alcohol evaporating cools this down, and it makes it want to condensate on it. So you gotta dry it off quickly. Let me go throw this one in there. I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. Make sure that if you ever do this, the If I remember correctly, the 1.6 has a different shield design than the 1.0 to 1.4. And I think if you interchange them, there's one or the other, you have to cut some grounding pads off so that you don't accidentally short it out, because it contacts the board in a different place. So there's a little tip for you. That should be clean enough. Let me go dry it off. Nice and hot off the bacon. Make sure you use good ventilation when you're doing this. You got the window open, the fan going. And I'm not using a lot. I'm just gonna throw a couple drops down and spread it about. All right, let's wipe up all the excess. Go ahead and throw this in here, just like so, and 127. Perfect. Pop all these down. That should be good for that. Let's do the other one. All right, this one's nice and hot too, so. All right. After making a mighty mess, she's ready. Let me clean up. All right, so there's that. There's that. Let me go ahead and drop this down in here. There we go. Set this back down in here. Perfect. So there's the case. Before I drop the motherboard in, I need to do one thing, or a couple things. I need to put the heat sinks on it, and I'm going to put some deoxit on the AV connector and Ethernet port. Helps keep a good connection. I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the USB ports. Well, controller ports, they are USB literally, because this is just literally a computer, but yeah, controller ports. I'll throw the heat sinks back on. There, I'll change my gloves out. I'm gonna sit down for this and I'm gonna bring you in close and show you where I'm talking about. Okay, I'll show you where I'm talking about. So you have these, see if I can get to where you can see it. See those plated pins on the Ethernet port? They can still oxidize over time, mostly from getting the dust and the air settling in on it. AV pins are the same way. See if I can get a good, you get a whole bunch of them down there at the bottom. So I'm going to use this stuff right here. It works really good on cartridge pins, AV ports, and stuff like this. So I'm just going to come through and use this little dropper and just throw a little line Just put a little line inside there, and then I'll take Q-tips and I'll wipe up the excess. But I will leave a little film in there so that helps keep it from oxidizing in the future. Do the same for the Ethernet, because even though this was a live console, not a lot of people actually used it, so these are more often very dirty. Sometimes I've had to disconnect and connect them multiple times to get them to register that it's connected to the internet. The cartridge, it's harder to get in there, but it's the same thing. Get in there, you see you have those pins on top. This is nothing but a USB port, so it needs to have a good connection so your controllers work properly and reliably. All right, looks good. There's a nice little film in there on those pins. All right, it took me forever to find it, but there we go. This is Cryonaut Extreme. That's what I use on my PC. It's great stuff. I love it. It's overkill for this system, but I got extra of this, so it may be overkill, but I don't care. That's gone forever. Oh well. It doesn't take a whole lot, especially the CPU doesn't take a whole lot. GPU takes a little bit more. On the CPU, since it's slightly rectangular, I'm gonna throw just a little bead on it. That's more than enough. The GPU, I'm gonna do a little X situation. Of course, I rightfully made a mess of that. Throw some thermal paste on here, and a nice little crisscross pattern. I definitely put too much on. That kind of looks like a singular logo. It's funny. It's way, way, way more than you need to. All right, got that pressed down pretty well. Let's go ahead and put this on. Put this on, not the wrong way. Push this forward, push it down, clip it, and that's done. All right, let's put the CPU on. Hook that back one first, push it forward, push it down, and in it is. Push that down. Okay, now we got heat sinks on. We're good to throw this back together. Go ahead and get the bottom of the case. It's already got dust in it. All right, we got the bottom of the case. And go ahead and drop in refurbished motherboard. You gotta get the Ethernet lined up in the back and slide it in there. And then you gotta line up the AV port. That is set down in there. All the screw holes lined up. Everything's looking good. All right, go ahead and put in our freshly refurbished power supply. Line up the port in the back and drop it in. You'll drop it in, and then you guys slide it back. It's got these little hooks on the right side over here from the plastic case to hold it. Go ahead and throw the screws in here. Get you a nice overhead of where the screws are gonna go in. My assortment, tray screws and all that kind of stuff. There should be a T15, if I remember correctly. No. What is it, 10? Yep, T10. Yep. And go ahead and go through and start putting these together. Just like with the video I did on the Super Nintendo save batteries, you turn it counterclockwise, which is that way, until you feel it click down. Because it's going into plastic, so you want to reuse those same threads that was in the plastic, because this old plastic can get brittle and break. Especially the Xboxes. If they're in the sun, they can get really brittle and you can't tell because it's a black plastic, so it's not yellowed. So you just gotta be very careful. I'll go and put all these in. My handy dandy little torque wrench so I don't over tighten anything. That's those. Go ahead and grab the new fan. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put all this wire because it does come with an excessively long wire. You can buy the fan. Nexus fan is the one I went with. I've tried a couple different ones. I like this one the best for the price. Seems to be, it puts out a lot of air at 100% and still being very quiet. So that's what I go with. And you can get 3D printed brackets on Amazon or eBay. I think I bought these on Amazon from a place that also sells the Nexus fans. You'll come in here at a little bit of an angle, and you got these hooks here. You'll put it in like that, and as you go down to clip it in, make sure you get it over in the shield like that, and then you can go all the way down like that. They do sell
a little cover piece for down there. I don't think it's really necessary because you're not going to be looking down there, and it costs extra. And I've lost one of them that I don't know what I did with it. So, oops. And this wire I'm going to take and do something with it. I'm just going to push it over there for now, and I'll hook it around some stuff whenever I get the trays in. Go ahead and plug in the power supply. Actually, nope, don't do that yet. We got to put in the controller ports. These just come in, slide them in like that. Line up the holes. Take your connector, plug it in down here for controllers 1 and 2. Then come over here and do 3 and 4. Just like that. Same screws with a motherboard and AV port. Just takes a T10. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fish the power and eject board right here. I think that's the order of operation. I'll find out here in a second. There's that. Then plug in the power supply, and we'll set this to the side and get the DVD cage. Try to remember which way it needs to go. That way? Is it that way? Yeah. Get our DVD drive, and I got to put the front bezel back on. This has 2 hooks on either side. I'll just hook on one side, give it a light bend down to hook it on the other side, and then you just push it down and it clips in right there. A lot of these will get really brittle, so be careful when you go to try to pry them off, and these little pieces here will snap off. But there's that. And go ahead and drop it into this. Perfect. All right, got the IDE cable and the StarTech SATA adapter. I went with a was it 24 inch? I'll look it up and put up here which one I went with. I got it on Amazon. Go ahead and plug it in here. Get the power connector for the DVD drive. Sorry you can't see much. Hang that out. Plug that in, and I'm gonna set this down in here. Get this lined up where it sits on there. There we go. And I'm just gonna take this, fold it up like that, and set it under the power cable, and that'll be more than good enough. Now, the old cable has a different routing. It comes like from underneath and plugs in and comes over and over. When you get this longer one, I like this path where you bend it and you come up on the side of the case, and you'll come here, and then there's a nice little couple sets of bends you can do to get this to plug in and route really well. Ow! You can see like that. It comes up and over, and it'll lay down like that. And then when this comes over, it'll come over like that and plug right into the new adapter. I do a double fold like this, up over itself and then back to get the orientation correct. Probably in the future, when I do a full mod on another console, I got a little bit better at this. This is a little I'll try to straighten it up a little bit better. That was I think my second attempt at getting this right. My first one was horrible. Anyway, takes one screw over here on the left. It's another one of those T10s. Go and get the hard drive. And on his, I went with a 2.5 inch drive, a little bit less power, a little bit less heat. Seagate, it's pretty good. 7200 RPM, 500 gigs. It'll hold a lot of games. We went through and told me all the ones you want, and I put some extras on there that I play too. And there's still room for a whole bunch more. There's a couple I know that won't work with the soft mod. There's a way to fix it. It's something to do with the file name sizes or something, but I'll figure that out at a different date. So flip this around where it needs to go the correct direction. This does take specific screws. I'm going to reuse the old hard drive screws because it does have a little touch of Loctite on them. These are the T15s. I'll go in the side here. Make sure with these, when you first screw into them, you may get a little bit of metal, a little bit of the powder coating come off, so just do a light brushing on them. Get that off. That's done. Got that in. Bring this back over here. Loop this power cable into this slot here, and then get this to set down. Actually, I did that wrong. Start to set it down, and you gotta have this zip tie right here above it, and just hook the wires into there. This one on the front here, I should have put in before I put this down, but it's fine. Another T10. All right, you'll route this power cable way over here, like so. And go ahead and plug in my SATA adapter, like so. Plug in the SATA's power adapter. Take this and fold it flat. I'm going to tuck this cable underneath that old notch for the old IDE cable and plug in the adapter into the hard drive. And try to be careful not to bend or break the connector while you maneuver all this. So that's in place. Take this and I'm just going to kind of fold it over a few times and get it tucked in. It's a little art to it, but when it's said and done, you don't want anything pushing on the adapter. There we go. Get that tucked in there. Everything's sitting really nice. That's not getting a lot of pressure on it. Once I shut the case, it'll set on it just like that. Make sure this is tucked in. So make sure your DVD is plugged in. Make sure your fan is plugged in. IDE cable, IDE cable, IDE cable, SATA adapter, power to SATA adapter. I think that's the order of operation. I'll find out here in a second. Go ahead and put the front panel together. I'm doing this in the wrong order. Put this front panel together in the wrong order because I'm smart. You're supposed to do this before you put all this together. I like making things difficult for myself, I guess. There we go. That's in there. That is not in there. Fuck me. Now I can go back to doing this the wrong direction. You're supposed to put this front panel together and then snap it on. Route this through, snap it on, and then continue. But I forgot. This has some hooks along the bottom here that go into some corresponding holes, and there's some pins. And then it hooks on either side of the main case. Pretty much once you get it lined up, you just give it some persuasion, and in she goes. That is most of the Xbox assembled. Let's go ahead and do the wrong thing and completely close it up and have full confidence in myself. You'll kind of spread each side of this out. You'll kind of pull it out a little bit, and it's got a slot that'll go down in there, and that helps you line it up. Slot right there for that molding in that side of the case. Nice and snug. Now with these feet, I was able to peel up just the edges to get them in. So no double-sided taping. Make sure I pick out screws that look good. That one's cleaner. That one's cleaner. Will he ever take it apart and see these screws, you ask? No, he is afraid to touch anything. But I want to put the best ones in here that I got regardless. There we go. I like those. This one is a T20. You can carefully peel the corners of those up. If it comes loose, I can get some double-sided tape. They do sell console feet that have holes already in them, but all the ones I've seen are like a rubberized, it's like a rubber TPE or TPT. It's a TPE, I think. Anyway, it's a type of rubber-ish plastic that you can use with the 3D printer, and all the ones I've ever seen are like that. All right, torque them down. There's that. Let me do a quick little test. See if I can get you where you can see it. Go and get this set up real quick. That works. You can see everything. So get my cord out of here. Let me take these gloves off. All right, I got a power cord. I got my Ethernet cable to test for live. Go ahead and get ready to plug it in. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. 3, 2, 1. No smoke, no fire. Sweet. All right, go ahead and plug in the Ethernet cable. I'll go ahead and switch this to, nope, I forgot how to use it. There we go. All right, component AV. What do I do with my controller? What did I do with it? I don't know. I don't know what I did with my wireless controller. I get my blue one. I know works. Moment of truth. Look at that. Immediately goes into the soft mod, looks like. I can hear the fan kicked on full blast. Super quiet. Yeah, no, Xbox Live is not responding.
And there we go. I do need to, we'll do that. I'm gonna show you, I can cut it off. So with this soft mod, now that I turned that off, that'll be up to him whether or not he wants to auto sign in to Xbox Live or not. Once I get the settings set up at his house, and you don't disconnect it for any reason, or usually there's not any problems. Once you set it, it remembers there's a certain order you have to do it in. But once it's set, it's good. You just leave it connected. And when you boot up, it'll auto sign in, do insignia, and work. So the drive sounds pretty good, the DVD drive, and we should see it go to home screen. Just like that. Cool. You can see here the home screen looks a lot like the original. I set it up to look like the stock. This is UIX Lite 0.5, I think it's what it's called. I'll probably put a link in the description for the YouTube video that they put out showing it, and probably also the one for GitHub where you can get it from, maybe. It was once known as UIX Ultralight. Maybe they did some updates to it, so now it works with Insignia Live, so you're able to get online and play games on your Xbox through them, and it's free and it's awesome. You can see it's all set up like a stock console, so you know, if you kind of want a soft mod but you like the way the stock system works, this is the way to do it. So you can set it up to where it looks and operates stock. All of the menus work great. You can come through here and adjust it, but you can just see it has all of the settings you would normally use. Oh, I don't have it hooked up to components, so you can't see the resolution settings. You make a lot of noise. I hope it's not picking up. Anybody else at the plug makes a lot of noise. You have all your standard settings that you did stock, but you also have UIX settings where you can go in here and adjust some stuff in that. So what shows in the menu, that kind of stuff. So you go to launcher menu, you'll be able to change what you want and where it goes. I'll have it preset. You can even clean it up to where it doesn't say this, like how it has memory, music, insignia, and launcher. I can change these back to where it says Xbox Live, and that's not there. We'll go into UIX settings. We'll go into main menu. We can change it to 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna change that to 4. There you go. So memory, music, insignia settings, and I can even change that. So we can show insignia, true or false. False is going to be Xbox Live. So when you boot this up, other than seeing a yellow light, and you can hear the fan, kind of sort of hear the fan on full blast. Once this is any distance away from you, you can't hear it at all. It's awesome. But it looks factory. You have memory, music, Xbox Live settings. Me personally, I love the stock look, but I do want the features to be more accessible, so you don't have to go through. If you want to launch your games, it's right here. You hit the launcher, go down to games, and then you're going to have all of these here. I need to refresh the icons. And it's easy to go through. You can go down and up one, or you can D-pad left and right for pages, so you can go whole pages over. Most important thing is it works like a stock console. It looks like a stock console, which is what a lot of people want, but it has a soft mod on the back end that makes it more reliable. So now once you have it soft modded, you can set up the hard drive key to something you know, or save it onto your computer, flash drive, whatever. That way, if something happens to the hard drive, you're able to build a new one, put it in, and you're ready to go. So you don't have to worry about it. It's a good security measure, because now you can get rid of the slower IDE drive and put in a SATA drive that's more reliable, faster, and just hold a lot more space in games. So me personally, the way I like to have my setup is I like my main menu to have the 5. So now you have memory, music, Xbox Live, the launcher, and settings. And since Xbox Live isn't around for this thing anymore, I like to change it. There's general settings. I like to change it to show insignia. So it's a nice little thing there. Put it back to what I normally use it as, which you got memory, music, insignia, launcher, settings. Went ahead and put my profile on here. I'm able to connect to insignia. So let's check it out. We're gonna go launcher, go down to games. We're gonna go all the way down to good old Halo 2. And you do gotta make sure you set up insignia, get your console registered, get your profile set up, and then make sure the settings is all set up and your console will connect to live before you go in the game. I haven't figured out if there's a way to make it work yet, but if it has a connection issue in game and it pulls out to troubleshoot and it goes back in, it looks for what's on the disk. but there's not a disk. You're playing from the hard drive. So make sure you're connected first at the main screen, because it's easier to do there than it is to try to troubleshoot and go back and relaunch the game. So we're in Xbox Live. It showed some people are in hardcore, so we're gonna go team hardcore. Let's see. I should have done this earlier when there was still more people online. Rainbow Six 3 has some people playing. I know how to make that work, but I don't have it on here. So we can show you. It can. You can go out, buy a game, and put it on the system, except for the ones that have the weird files are too large problem. But then you can still play them on a disk drive. So let me go get that. Got my copy of Rainbow Six 3 here. Oh man, that sounds so good. I forgot to open this. That runs so smooth since I refurbished it. So quiet. Anyway, what I want to do is go over here. You can go back to the base Unleash X. But right here, I can copy it, hit yes, and now it's going to dump my game over to it. And it says it takes 10 minutes. I did a thing. Cool thing about the hard drive is loading times are a lot faster too. Anyway, that's the whole system. I put it back to stock green just because it was acting weird. And hope he likes it. When I get there, we're gonna set him up a Insignia account, and that is that. His Xbox is, this thing's completely refurbished. As refurbished as can be, you know. We've got a quieter, upgraded fan, we've got a hard drive, we've got a completely refurbished motherboard, we got a refurbished power supply, we got a refurbished DVD drive as much as possible. I'd love to get brand new lasers for these and put them in every one of them, but you just can't get them. Finding originals is just basically non-existent. Your best thing to do is just find consoles that have been taken care of or basically new in the box. You know, the DVD drive should work. You know, the caps on the motherboard might be a problem. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, that is a soft modded Xbox that is now completely refurbished for M.E.H. And here in about 36 hours, we will be hooking this up at his house and playing some games on it. So that's the end of this little series of refurbishing a original Xbox 1.6 M.E.H. I hope you enjoy it. If you like this type of content and this series, like and subscribe and hit the notification. In the future, I'm going to do more of these refurbishing videos on a couple different systems. I've got other versions of the original Xbox, Super Nintendo, N64, PlayStation 1, Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, Game Gear. Yeah, that's most of it. If you're interested in the soft mod that I used and how it looks stock and like it, I'm gonna have a dedicated video coming up at some point. I don't know exactly when. I'm gonna show the soft mod in its entirety. I'm gonna do a start to finish setup. I'm gonna show you the tools you're gonna need. I'm gonna show you how to set up those tools you're gonna need. Just a couple things, it's not a lot. I'll show you how to get your games on there. You'll have all that set up, so you'll have a nice little soft mod that's easy to use. You'll be able to play online. It's going to include Insignia setup and all that stuff. So might be able to play with me. Here's my Twitch where I plan to stream playing some of this stuff. So check me out there if you ever get a chance. I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Later.